Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Paige and this is Life on Earth. I just lit some Nag Champa. I love Nag Champa. Isn't it like the greatest? It's my favorite incense. I'm also going to clear the energy with some Palo Santo before we begin. I've attempted to do a reading a lot of times this evening, and if this one doesn't work out, I'm just gonna take the message that it wasn't meant to happen this evening, but I still want to give it a try. Clear your energy, clear mine, and the table and the cards. Clear it out. Only love and light are welcome here. Okay. So I'm going to be doing a tarot reading for you guys to take a look at the energy and the situation at hand. But before we get into that, I have an oracle deck here called the Innin Witch Oracle, which I'm going to look into to see what Spirit's highlighting for you this evening and wants to make you aware of above all else. One more. Well, we'll do it this way this time. Okay. From the Innin Witch Oracle, resurrection, recklessness. Book of Shadows, lineage, roots, and Garden Gate, possibilities. I immediately feel that you are a person who has been working on breaking the chain, has been a rebel, has been working on taking the road less traveled your entire life. I feel like this is due to wanting to break habits from your ancestors patterns and your bloodline and things like that. And I feel like you're finally reaching a point where, due to all your hard work, there's possibilities opening up, there's new opportunities and things like that. So I think that's beautiful. I'm just going to put these cards in this little selenite holder over here. And we are going to get more information about that message now. I'm just going to, 10:44 was on the clock. I'm just going to lay out the spread, and I'll see you guys inside the reading. Okay, guys, 2:44 on the timer. That may be a significant number for you. I love that this Justice card is here in your overall general energy because it's right here in the Oracle. This recklessness and resurrection card is just speaking so much to me. I feel that all of the ways in which you have behaved in the past that maybe people didn't understand, you were doing it for this for this cause that was so deep that you couldn't even explain it. There's finally some karmic relief around the ways in which you were being perceived, or even the ways in which you looked at yourself, because of your devotion and your persistence and your, relentlessness, to fighting for a higher cause. So there's just relief around here. And in the past here, I see you, working with others in the way that you may have, shared your unique insights with others, and you were working on certain projects together. Maybe you were just learning how to voice your truth in these situations. Why is this 3 of Pentacles here in the past? Yeah, we have the Magician. You were definitely using these tools and that you received from a higher perspective, these divine assets and things like that, and you were using them to build relationships with others and build depth in these relationships, and build relationships in which you can share these deep insights that you have about what you're fighting for and why. In the present here, we have the Hanged Man in reverse. So I feel like there's a part of you that is trying to... There's a part of you that's fighting off receiving enlightenment at this time. Like, we have karma on your side, we have all these opportunities opening up, but I feel like a part of you still wants to be in total control, because that's how you have learned to be your entire life. You have had to be in control to save yourself. You've been in situations where you've had to be maybe even like have a hardened heart or act heartless or things like that. Why is this Hanged Man in reverse here? Yeah, we have this Five Pentacles in reverse twice in the reading. It's because you are just learning how to get out of that victim mentality perspective. That was redundant. Not the Department of Redundancy department over here. You're just seeing that you don't have to be this hard anymore, and that you can be soft, and that there are people that you can go to for help. You're not left out in the cold, things like that. Moving forward with what the divine is currently trying to teach you, the lesson at hand, we have the World in reverse. So I feel like what the divine is currently trying to teach you is that there are certain things that didn't move forward in the past for a reason. There are certain things that you are not meant to have completion around at this very moment for a reason. There's delays for a reason. And the challenge here is you having some kind of issue around letting things come to an end. So it's an interesting energy with the World here in reverse and the Death card in reverse. The divine is teaching you that there is a higher or divinely orchestrated system going on that you cannot possibly be in control of, and you don't get to dictate when things end and begin at a certain point. You are a co-creator of your universe, and you definitely have to lay down boundaries, and you definitely have to fight for your causes and all of that. But there's certain things that you really need to let come to an end, like these old past behaviors of feeling left out in the cold and trying to control things because that's how you had to do. Things like that. Why is this the World here in reverse for the lesson? Yeah, it's time to really just let yourself rest, be at peace with what is. And why is the Death card in the challenge here? Yeah, it's almost like you are having a hard time understanding that you can move into a higher timeline in your life and set down sturdier roots and meet soul family and have like this just like more vibrant energy. You're having a hard time understanding that that's even possible for you. Moving forward, we have your power here in this whole situation that you should acknowledge. We have the King of Pentacles in reverse. This King of Pentacles in reverse is quite the scam artist, very manipulative, isn't very in touch with they're not in touch with how their energy and time really does have a significant meaning. They don't understand that part. They think they just have to get money at any cost. And even if it, involves scamming and stealing and things like that, that's what I feel about this King of Pentacles in reverse. And I feel like it's in your power because you have had to have that mentality in the past, but, it doesn't have to be that way now. I think it's time. Why is this King of Pentacles in reverse here? I think it's time that you start looking at your past behaviors from just stand out of it, zoom out. Don't be in your life for a second and just look at your behaviors in the past. And it's going to bring so much hope and clarity to your life. And it's going to help you to see that the more that you soften up here and be guided by the light of the moon type of thing, the more you are going to get out of this situation. And here in the future, as the energy reads, I see you taking a look at all of the ways in which you have gone about creating abundance for yourself in the past, and finally feeling a sense of having peace with yourself, being at peace with the past, feeling like you finally understand certain things that you never did, and just having this gentleness with yourself that you never have. And in the influence here, both seen and unseen, I have you maybe in the back of your head just finally getting out of this victim mentality, like I was talking about. You're finally leaving behind this feeling like you're left out in the cold, because maybe in the past you truly were left out in the cold. And like I said, you had to be hard. You had to go against the grain and whatever else to get, you know, the desired reality for yourself. And that's like a brave thing to do. Not everyone does that. That's something to be celebrated for yourself. Why is this Five of Pentacles in reverse here? Yeah, I feel like there is going to be new opportunities when it comes to love and connection, because finally your heart is opening. You don't have that, like I said, you don't have that like hardened, I have love in my body but I can't get it out, it gets stuck in my head, won't come out of my mouth, the hardest of hearts. That's not going to be a thing anymore. You're not going to have the hardest of hearts. Where to go to for support? Where to go to for support? This burden that you've always been carrying, I feel like if you look at it now from this perspective that is like has more clarity, has more wisdom, is more open, is less judgmental, all of that, you're going to find so many answers that you've always been looking for. Why is this here in where to go to for support? Yeah, you're in this way now where you're more open to, like I said, gentleness and letting things really bloom, because you're learning how to nurture them in a greater way. So where to go to for support? Just look at all the ways in which you behaved in the past, and look at it from the way in which you are having karmic relief now, and there's light shed upon everything, and you're going to see that that doesn't have to be the way anymore, where you're constantly carrying burdens. Spirit's advice on how to manifest the best outcome here, and how to become the best energetic match that which you desire. Let what needs to come to an end, come to an end. Control what you can control, and then let the rest be up to your co-creator, which is the divine, okay? I love you, and I hope that you got something from this reading. I know that I did, and I will see you soon. Peace.